Investors.
Hi,
Welcome,
everybody.
everyone. This is ACDC, Araceli and Colette, the Dynamics Change. And my name is Araceli. I'm a transition web advisor and also a real estate investor. And I mostly work with single professional women to rearrange their finances and get something better for themselves. And just eliminate the fear of really uh, going into their finances. A lot of people feel a lot of fear about it, and I help them remove that. And I'm here with my partner, Colette. Colette, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. My name is Colette Rabba, and I'm a real estate agent or broker in the GTA West. I believe in helping people who are seeking real knowledge to make the best decisions when buying or selling a property in the GTA. When I say real knowledge, I mean sometimes the internet might not really tell you the whole story. So, this is also why Araceli and I do the show because we want to give you real time information and guidance and whatever other questions, answer your questions that you may have about real estate, not just buying and selling, but also investing.
Mhm.
So that's why we're here. And I like your background today. It's very
What do
cute
you think about this? I'm in a bubble. It's
because
like,
we are talking about the real estate bubble, which how many years, how many times have we heard that term that there's a real estate bubble and it's going to burst,
yeah,
that crazy thing. And it's really, so that's what we're here.
that's
And
what I have my bubble here. I'm in a bubble.
yes. And just to let the audience know too, that Araceli and I have decided to not prepare really beforehand. So we don't have anything written. We don't have a slideshow or
Yeah.
presentation or anything. We're winging it because this is what real conversations are about, based on real-time information. Today, what day is today? Today is June
June
16th,
16th.
2021. We are still in COVID restrictions, and it's 111 the time right now. So
Oh,
we
nice.
really, yeah. So and this is the thing. If you're watching this like 5 years from now, obviously things have changed. But right now, what we are seeing in the market, this is what we want to talk about today. So
That's
and
right.
and
And I love that background that you
oh,
have. It's beautiful.
thank you.
That your
Actually,
new house?
so this is the interesting thing, just for everybody who is a little ADD. So what I've decided, I had a epiphany the other day, and I said, you know what, this is ridiculous. I should really be putting celebrity houses on my backgrounds. So this is what I've been doing in Zoom. As long as Zoom will last, or as long as we continue to do the show, I
Yeah.
will highlight a celebrity house
Oh,
every time.
that's
But you
awesome.
have to wait till the end for me to tell you who the celebrity is. So maybe
Ooh, I'd like to know. Yeah, it's
okay, I'll tell you.
beautiful.
It's a woman
Mm-hmm.
actress
Mm-hmm.
who, she's in the States. I'm not sure if she ever won. I think she did win at least nominated for an Academy Award. Really brilliant lady. I love her, and I think she's very intelligent too. And in quite a few movies. So she's more of a movie actress than a TV actress. And you probably know her for sure.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay,
I can't wait to find out.
later. Okay, let's play.
So, Colette, tell me, explain to the audience if somebody's saying, "Oh, we are in a bubble, a real estate bubble," what does that mean? Like, for the regular person that has never heard it
Thank you for
before.
asking that. That's a very good question. That's the thing. So when people say the bubble will burst, it's not an actual bubble. It's like this. What we're the form of this thing that is under a lot of pressure, and real estate is like that sometimes, where the prices are really high, huge. There's either in this case it's a real seller's market, so there's very low supply, so there's this pressure and the bubble's going to burst from the pressure, and then everything's just going to go to shit, excuse my language. But so what people are hoping, especially buyers, they're hoping that this bubble is going to burst, prices are going to come down, there's going to be huge inventory, they're going to have their pick at whatever, and this bubble is going to burst. So what did we like? We were talking about it a little bit before, like 10 years.
Well, as everybody knows, the real estate is just like any other market. It's supposed to be cyclical, but it depends where you are. We have seen in the last 20 years, since I remember, that the market continues to go upward and upward, and there is no going down, right?
Right.
So it seems to me that we have been in a bubble for the last 20 years that continues. To me, when I think about the bubble, it goes up and up and up and up and up and up, and then it's just gonna, boop, but it just
No,
hasn't happened.
but that's not realistic. So
No.
imagine there is no bubble. It doesn't exist. There is no bubble. So, and I know a lot of people will disagree with me, which is fine. Disagree with me all you want, please. I don't have a crystal ball. I really don't have, I have a magic 8 ball. Maybe I can like shake it and, ask. But really what real estate is about numbers and about economy. So when you think of what we all thought that this magical bubble will burst because of COVID, for example,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't happen. And on the contrary, you don't think the government and the banks know we got to do something to keep things moving along. We need that conveyor belt of purchasing and sales
Mm-hmm.
to continue. How do we do it? So that's why mortgage rates are so low, because they just want to keep the biggest, like this is the biggest purchase people make in their lives. How do we keep that going?
Moving along, yeah.
How do we keep, because if people stop buying and selling houses, like we've talked about this before on the show, you're hiring so many people when you buy a house. You hire a real estate agent, you hire an inspector, you have to get an appraisal, you have to hire a mortgage agent or a lender.
Yeah.
And that's just the sale.
Oh, that is
After
just,
you
yeah.
purchase,
Yeah.
right?
Then,
Who do you hire? Decorator, maybe. You buy furniture, you buy TVs, maybe you have to renovate the, so you hire.
all paint and things that you want to change in your house.
It's a machine. It's a machine. Never mind all your utilities that you're paying for. Like
Yeah.
this is the thing where roofing, I mean, we can go on and on. So think of your house as this a little economic uh, um, business. You by owning a house have started a business really, because you are now hiring people to continue this process of keeping your house, maintaining it,
Yep.
fixing it up, making it beautiful. So when you do go to resell this big piece of investment, it has to look okay. It has to look good.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be
Yeah.
kept up to have the best sale when you decide to go sell
Yeah.
it. Or
I really like that analogy that you do, that it's like it's a little business. And this is something that you wanted to think about when you are buying either a portfolio of stocks or something, because the economy is moving every day.
right.
And by you going to work or working at home or purchasing food or getting shoes for your children, all of those things, that means a lot of things. Like think about it. If you make a purchase, whether it's online or at a store, there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. When you purchase,
Right.
that money that you circulate, it goes to, whoever is selling it, but they have to purchase it from somebody and they have to make it in order for it to be
Right.
at the store. It's just like a little chain, right?
Well, this
And
is
it's
the other
never
thing,
going to
right? And
stop.
that's why I say about movement, like you keep moving, you have to keep moving. This is the other thing too. So when we say, please ask us your questions, this is something that is real questions that people are asking us, that we talk to our clients about. I've had some amazing discussions the last few days. Actually, I've been talking to a lot of clients that are coming up, clients that are in the process, clients that are they're done, but they want to think, okay, what's the next step, sort of thing. So this is the thing, when you look at especially income properties, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. So I had a great meeting with someone yesterday. She is an older woman.
Mm-hmm.
She knows the equity in her house is, she owns her house outright. The equity in her house is about $1 million, let's say, on an average day, never mind what kind of market we're in right now. It was her parents' house. She has not touched this house in 30, 40 years, maybe. The house is falling apart.
Oh dear.
Honestly, that's not my words, that's her words. She says there's plumbing issues, there's this, I had to just do that, I had to do that. She's an older woman. She doesn't know how to do it all herself. and she really doesn't have that income to come and spend $5, $10, $20,000 on a new this or a new that. But this is the thing that we find, number one, people are, ask yourself and ask how many people that you just know randomly. A nice question to ask them is, are you using your house as a retirement plan? And more times out of not, they will say yes, because they know the equity has grown so much. Like, let's say they bought, let's say me, I'll give you an example. Me, I bought my house almost 11 years ago for a little bit over $500,000. The way the market has gone, I'm over $1 million right now. And this is with me keeping up my house, maintaining it. You don't even know what my house looks like inside. Like, it could be, I haven't done anything, let's say. So the thing is, I'm not going to sell it tomorrow. I'm living in it. I'm enjoying it, but I need to maintain it just like any business. You
Anything.
have to, right. Even if you have to spend, if you're not a good housekeeper like me, you hire a cleaning person to come in even once a month just to make sure that it's clean. I hire a painter. I got to paint it every whatever 10 years. So this is something that it's not just for my enjoyment, but I know it's my investment and I want to keep it nice. I have to fix the roof. If I didn't fix the roof and all the animals started living in it, then of course my investment is not going to continue to grow as much. But then there's also the whole thing, and we're going to talk about this in another episode, about land value versus the actual house value.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that so we're not talking about that right now. But when you say, like we did on another show, should I invest in a house or should I invest in stocks, bonds, stock market? This is the thing about the bubble bursting. If you think that your real estate portfolio is not going to fluctuate because you say, oh, well, stock market is going to fluctuate. That's not true. It does always fluctuate. But if you look at historically, it always grows. And
it's the same with the stocks. You might see a dip because you do have a number, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to come back. And historically, just like real estate, like any market, as long as we are still going to the store and purchasing things,
right,
so the economy continue to move,
right,
then we're still going to go up. But the key is to be invested. It's not like I'm going to buy the house and I'm going to sell it tomorrow.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. So I'm glad you said that. Timing is everything. And in real estate, we always like to say at least 5. I think that's not even enough. I want to say for the cycle for real estate is between 7 and 10 years.
Yeah.
So even if there's a huge dip and things go,
you can always recover.
New York, for example. Oh, so this, I just want to tell you too, I'll give you a little hint. This is actually a New York apartment that somebody's selling, so for millions and millions. But anyway, this is the other interesting thing too, what I wanted to say. If you think, oh my God, people can't afford, there's this bubble. When I read articles about bubble, I don't even read them anymore. I think the term is bad. I like to say a correction in the market.
I think that's a better thing. And a lot of people think that the correction is going to go, oh my God, I'm going to go down 30%. That's not the truth. So usually the correction, at least of what I've seen here in the GTA, is that the houses don't appreciate as much. So if your house is 500,000, it will remain for 500,000 for the next couple of years before it actually goes up. Right. So to me, that is kind of like the idea of the correction, because remember, in the States, we experiment a different type of market.
Right.
And you can see the actual correction going to say, my house is 500,000, next year is 400,000. So you can actually see that difference. But in Canada, just because the economy is set up, we don't see that. And I don't foresee seeing that because we are in a geographical area, sort of like New York or California, which is, if you see, those markets are very similar to Toronto, and they don't see a dip that much.
Well, it also has to do, again, this is economy 101. It's supply and demand. So yeah, there's a huge supply of condos because we're running out of land. Let's just say
Yeah.
GTA. If you look right now and you want to buy something in the downtown core, I mean, first of all, there's not a lot out there, but second of all, you have to have $1 million. So
Oh,
this is the other
at
thing
least.
too, when it comes to economy and the scale of economy. When you really want to sell something, you have to say, okay, okay, here's a cup. How many of these do I have? This is an economy, like teaching economics from somebody who really doesn't,
Yeah.
not supposed to be teaching. But let's just say fundamentally, this is the general, like it all comes, how you love your saying of, finances touches everything. Economy touches everything too. So if I say, here you go, and this has been proven because of COVID. I know I'm going a little off topic, but let's just say this is a treadmill. Here's my treadmill, right? It's COVID. I can't go to the gym anymore. I can't buy a treadmill because all the factories are closed.
Exactly.
Shipping's for something that's so heavy and all the stores are closed. I can't just go and buy a treadmill. My treadmill has now increased in value by whatever, 20%, 30%,
Because of the
$500,
demand.
a
And
thousand, supply and demand, right? So this is the thing. If the community that you're living in is no longer building houses or
yeah,
increasing the volume, let's say I put a third story on my house and you can rent it out. If that's not happening in your community on that piece of land, there is very short supply, and that's what's happening right now, especially with freehold houses. You see the builders are either building mega mansions, which are over $1 million. And that's the other thing. How many people can afford over $1 million?
yeah,
So this is how the scale of economy works. How many people can afford that treadmill,
yeah.
house? And how many people are going to be making an offer on that property? So now when I have my clients that are under $1 million, we're going into we're going into, yeah. So how that happens is because mortgage rates are very low. It's this perfect storm. Mortgage rates are very low supply, huge demand.
Yeah.
We need to live somewhere. Fundamental things that we need in our lives are food, shelter, clothing.
Yep.
So if there's a huge supply of, and this is why clothing is so cheap. There's a huge supply of clothing and we can get it easy and we can try stuff on and we can, throw it out after a year. So clothing shouldn't be that expensive, but if it becomes the factories are closing, we can't get the products we want. We need, let's say, cotton fibers, natural fiber. That's a little bit more rare. Price will go up, less buyers.
That's right. So everything is cyclical and it depends what is happening in the market. But just to answer the questions that we started with is, are we in a real estate bubble? I don't believe that. I don't think it is, at least here in the GTA and Toronto area. It might be different in other areas, but it depends where you're watching from. I'm telling you, you gotta understand the market that you're gonna be buying in.
Right.
Especially if you decide to go to the US,
right,
just like I did. So.
Exactly. That's the other thing too. So when you look at apples to apples, and we talk about this quite often too. People want to buy an income property in the GTA right now, and the numbers don't work out for, let's say you're paying a $2,000 mortgage on a property, and you can't get $2,000 rent because that's the market rent is not 2,000. It might be 1,500 or 1,200. What do? Do you buy it anyway? Because if you sit on it for 10 years, that's when you make your money. So real estate is one of those things that you don't see that happen very often. You can't buy a car and drive it for 10 years and then sell it for more than you bought it for.
Okay.
Wouldn't
That's what I like to do.
Right. Wouldn't that be nice? So things like that. Same thing with gold. Gold, of course, if you buy something and then you wear it and you enjoy it and then you sell it in whatever 10 years from now.
But I think just remember that everything, as I said, everything touches money. And if you decide to buy a property here in the GTA as an investment, it all depends on how financially secure you are. Can you afford to have that, negative cash flow, if that's what it is? If you don't have more than the 20% down that you need to sustain it. Because
Right.
yeah, you can make a property cash flow as long as you put enough down payment, right?
Right.
You put
Of course.
50%,
But then
60%,
who
of
pays
course.
the down payment off?
Exactly.
You
So those are
But
the things that you really need to decide. And just like anything, buying a treadmill or clothing or a condo or a house or a freehold house, it's all dependent on your necessities, like your cost of living, and also, obviously what your finances are. How many sources of income do you have coming in?
right, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like when we talk about investors, there are people who have multiple locations, multiple buildings, just like whatever franchise, let's say.
Yep.
If you have, let's say, 5 restaurants and one isn't doing well, you can use the proceeds from the other ones to support them till, let's say, the area gentrifies and there's more condos
Yeah.
in the area, and to feed that restaurant with more clients. Like, this is something that it is really economy, and talking to your professionals before you decide to buy a
Yeah.
property or multiple properties, to say, okay, what is this going to look like in my portfolio, not just today, but when I go to sell. And that's the
Yeah.
other little trick that Araceli and I like
Yeah.
to talk about, is how is this going to end?
Yeah.
When am I going to sell? Same thing with stocks. When you buy a stock, you say, okay, well, I'm going to sell when it hits this number. That's usually how I understand it, where a
Mhm.
lot of people say, or I'll just hold on to it forever. That I love to hear, when people don't want to sell their property, but then they use that property to buy the next one. And
Yeah.
they use the equity in that property to buy another investment. So this is something that, a bird in the hand, I say that, I've been saying that, I don't know, almost every day. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, which means keep it. I know I'm a terrible salesperson. If I don't want to sell your property, I want you to hold on to it.
Yeah.
But you use it to buy another property, or
Yeah,
to
but
buy
if you
something
do
else.
decide to sell, obviously there's reasons for it. Maybe you are
Always.
going through a divorce, maybe you're retiring to another country. There is always a reason. Like, that doesn't
Thank
mean
you.
don't
Yes.
sell it, but
Yeah.
if there is a reason for you to actually sell it, we always
Transition.
say look at your finances, look at where that is going to do for you
Yeah.
and why you're doing it. But to answer the question and close the episode today, we're not in a real estate bubble. This is what it is. And what I really recommend as an advisor is to put a plan together in place to buy as soon as possible, because you don't know when this thing is going to continue to go up at even higher rates. That's the only thing
Right.
I can tell you. My crystal ball is not working, so I
Yeah.
cannot predict what is
Well,
going to happen tomorrow.
right. But if we look at numbers and we look at history, they give you answers. So when
Yeah,
you really look at, oh, I should have planted that tree. What's the saying? When should I have planted that tree?
yeah, 20 years ago.
Right. And
What is
that's
the
when you
best
should have
next
bought.
time? Yeah,
That's when you should have bought. But you don't want to be in the same place watching this video in 10 years from now and saying,
20
oh
or
my
20
God,
years. Yeah, 20 years from now, right?
yeah, I
Oh,
should
I
have.
should have bought then, right? And it's always like that. There's no past or there's no future. It
Right.
is today. So the
But
only thing that
right.
you can do is make the plan today, make something that you can work with,
Right.
and get into the market as soon as you can. And but
Yep.
do it for the right reasons, because it's your lifestyle, because it's the property that you want to get as an investment. Do it for the right reasons with the right plan. There is no wrong or right time to get in the market. Just
I
do
I
it.
agree. And also know your why. Why do you want to do it?
Yeah.
Why? Is it just to make money? Or is it because you need a roof over your head and you don't want to pay a landlord anymore? Like, that's the big thing. No matter what you do with your finances, with real estate, know your why. I want
Yeah.
to burst your bubble.
Yeah. Yeah. Go. Okay. So can you tell me now whose
Oh,
house is that?
yes. Okay, so the celebrity background. So I just want to move around so you guys can see the beautiful view
Nice.
that she
Love
has.
it.
Thelma and Louise. Her
Yeah.
name is, the actress is Susan Sarandon, and I don't
Yeah.
want to go into it, but I love her. I think she's a great actress, and yeah, beautiful
It's
apartment.
beautiful. Well, thank
Too.
you so much for showing us this. This
Thank
is
you.
awesome. Okay, well, thank you guys for coming out and give us your questions. Do you agree with this or not? What else do you want us to talk about? We'll love to do this. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Colette, and we'll
Thanks for
see you
joining.
next week.
Bye.
Bye.